Okay. There we are, YouTube. What's up? On Sunday, how are you doing? Beautiful day in the Netherlands. Sun is shining. And oh boy, did I needed some rest after last night as well. It was a late one. So thanks for understanding. No update this morning, but you know, not too much has changed. We did have some, there was a nice trading setup, not gonna lie. We had a bit of divergences, the high was made, and yeah, we have some stuff to talk about. So very interesting indeed. Hey, let's move to the chart. Put you guys on the screen as well and see what's up in chat. Oh wait, somehow I can never scroll or see the first messages. I think Mark, Dutch and Watty, you might be the first two. Let me quickly double check here. Let me remove. Now let me pop it out once more. I think it's a little... Ah, yeah. Okay, you were the first. Okay, that's good. So, Mark, how you doing? Watty, Marcus Lenzer. Did you know, by the way, everyone, Marcus is the first ever member of the channel. Quite impressive. Flotty, what's up? One of the newest one, I actually think. How you doing, man? What a beautiful volatility on the weekend. Yeah, it's been a very interesting weekend for sure. Moving to the upside, moving down as well. Bearish CVD. You know, there's stuff happening. Tell us why we can't break 30K, because people are selling or have limit sell orders. Machine, what's up? Morten Bosserup, of course, which is it is the right answer, obviously. But yeah. How you doing? Good to have you here, Michal Miloszewski. How you doing? Amsterdam dance event coming to Gouda. Yep. I wouldn't mind some good partying. I never really was a guy that really went away, or you know, I suppose I was never really a party dude. I think in my younger years, you know, I guess still relatively young, I suppose, but never really was too much of a party boy. Interesting, little bit of bullish divergences here. No, just leave it there. Did you tag everyone? No, because in people that have their YouTube notifications on, they will get a notification. And people can also have notifications on the Koenz content channel, so they'll get a notification. But I don't tag everyone in Discord because they'll get a notification elsewhere, or I don't want to spam too many people. But I'm doing great. Thanks. By the way, hi on Lewa. Good to have you here. Drinking some pints maybe. Aksha Dulanjit, doing very well. Thanks. Christian, what's up? Ersin Yilmaz, how you doing? Okay, let's get started, shall we? So it is some interesting price action. We're basically hanging around 30K, but my area of interest really is 30.4K. Card Crypto, how you doing? What's up? Moving you guys to my and girls to my second screen, so you're in the corner of my eye. Of course, in this stream we're going to go over some Elliott Waves, take a little look at the local range here as well, and we might zoom out, but actually I don't really want to zoom out too much, because tonight 7 p.m. Central European time there's the macro and high time frame update coming. I do realize that I think in a stream yesterday or 2 days ago I went from the cycle all the way to the 15-minute. So I'm not sure if I should make a community post about make sure to check out this video, because nothing changed on the higher time frames, you know what I mean? Of course, a separate update video is more condensed than the live stream. The live stream was longer, where we went in detail over the cycle, bullish and bearish count, and then the macro, high time frame, daily. And of course, in the video, it's more condensed, but it's a bit less info. But yeah, you know, something to think about. But if you have an opinion, then make sure to let yourself your opinion be known. So in the range, price moved towards the upside. Let me actually remove this for now. So I think the last update was somewhere here, and of course we had the bullish scenario as well, where we were taking the highs. And of course this stuff always happens just after you post. However, there were some nice divergences to the upside the moment we started moving here. I think, let's see, I think the last update was here somewhere. And then, of course, just afterwards, here on the 3-minute time frame, we started to see some bullish CVD divergences. First of all, over here, we had the order block, right? Price was ranging around the order block over here. All good, all fine. Order block in confluence with the golden pocket as well, taken from the high to the low. Interesting area of interest. We had bearish CVD divergences here as well. So there was some like selling pressure, limit shorts absorbing market longs. However, on the 3-minute, and that's the thing, the more local the CVD divergences, the more important they are. So if I go to the left, and I jump to the 3-minute, I can actually show you what to look for in some way, I suppose. Is over here, we then had the range. Right, this is the range inside the order block as well. And then first of all, this is scalping stuff, right, for the scalpers. First of all, over here, higher low in price on the 3, lower low on yellow. That's the beginning. But then what you see as well, and this was for me a more important sign, is you have a green candle, but CVD moves down, which I call an in-candle divergence. So there's more sellers than buyers in this candle, but it still closes green, which, you know, like it means something, right? And then price moves towards the upside, and you know that was for me like, oh, we might actually get a bit of a push, and then you get it again over here, green candle, CVD moving down. Another green candle, but CVD moving down. So yeah, it was quite clear that price was interested in continuing to the upside the moment you saw the bearish divergences here, which is literally, I posted my video here, right? So 15 minutes later, that's just the way it goes. 15 minutes later, you got the bullish CVD divergences, price pushed, more bullish CVD, in candle CVD. We went to the upside, right? But hey, we were prepared for a nice weekend range, of course. And when price was ranging over here or made the high, you know, we said like, hey, weekend is coming up, weekend tends to range. What I would like to see from an Elliott Wave perspective is to see a weekend range, and then early next week, when the markets open, take the highs of the range. You now have a double top over here as well, but not to forget, besides that double top we got very, very locally, you also got the high of the triple top at 30.4K. So after a weekend range, I'm still keeping my eyes on the 30.4K level. Of course, I think Bybit and some other charts had a bigger wick to 30.6K, but if you take the triple top, 30.6K is very, very close. So yeah, that's interesting. Here's the high of 30.4. Triple top is high number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm not sure which ones we actually took now, so let's have a look. Okay, we took the lowest one. So the lowest one of the triple top has been taken, but the upper, like the other two, have not yet been taken, which of course is interesting. So still, price is simply ranging. We're ranging a little bit higher now. More locally at the moment, of course, we got proof that this is a 3-wave structure. Now, one of the scenarios on the chart was a WXY scenario. Let's see if I can get it on the chart for you. This one, it's a little bit messy, maybe this one, but let me actually, I'll first zoom in here anyway. So Binance 30, yeah, the highs can be a little bit different per chart. That's not a problem. But in this move to the downside here, I explained in the video yesterday, right, where if we're looking for an impulse to the downside, actually funny because in the probabilities I completely forgot about this, even though I explained it in the video. But if you're looking for an impulse to the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this has to be your wave 5, right? The problem with your wave 5 is all the overlap. So if you think about a diagonal in a wave 5, you need 3 lows. You have a wave 1 low, you need a wave 3 low, and then you get a wave 5 low, which creates your diagonal shape. The problem here is that we had a 1 low and we had 2 lows. This one over here didn't take the one on the left, as you can see. So probabilities WXY, but possibly in an impulsive scenario, that's always the question. You could have a 1, 2, 3, then you get a 3-wave structure, right? WXY complex stuff before you then get a wave 5 to the downside, which then would make sense. So yeah, the wave 5, it's just that the wave 5 was not too clean compared to the rest of the structure. But now that price took the high, it's basically proof it was a 3-wave structure, and that's exactly what you then be looking for, right? So in the bearish scenario, you're then looking for an ABC, but the most common target for wave B is between the 1.236 and the 1.38, which, as you can see, has not been hit for an expanding flat, right? We're thinking about then an expanding flat, which is a 3, 3, and then a 5-wave move to the downside, where if the high over here is then in, you're going to be looking for 1, 2, 1, 2 continuation down, because you're looking for a wave C. Wave C starts to get quite long compared to your wave A, which is a bit of a problem, or starts to become a problem. I mean, it's still okay, but if this is only a 1, 2, 1, 2, you still need a 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. It is weekend. Usually that's not the time for wave 3s in the weekend, like very big impulsive moves. Usually it's a ranging structure, WXYs, ABCs, corrective triangles, those type of things. A minimum target for wave B is the 105, which has been hit. But preferably what I like to see for a wave C after a B is just a quick move, right? Usually wave Cs in an ABC expanding flat are the most impulsive structures. Those are the ones that go down. Those are the shortest ones, or tend to be the shortest structures between a wave A and a B. They tend to be nice and spicy. Of course, it is weekend, and that is also why, you're constantly looking for ranges to form. So this ABC scenario, therefore, for me, lowers the, it's a bit lower probability at the moment. But at the same time, if we look at an impulsive structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, your problem here is going to be overlap between 1. So let me actually clean up the yellow stuff here, by the way, just to make sure we keep focus. So here we have overlap between 1 and your wave 4, if your wave 3 is already in, right? So you have 3 in over here. Let me actually remove this for clarity. So 3 is in, you're going to be looking for 4 and then a 5. The problem now is wave 1 and wave 4 have overlap, not allowed in a normal impulsive structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's what you want to see. No overlap between 1 and 4, which means that now you then, if you're looking for an impulse, it has from this low, that is, you're going to be looking for a diagonal. But a contracting diagonal is already invalidated because 3 is longer than 1. So that means you again get to expanding structures, but an expanding diagonal is rare. So therefore, something that I currently have in mind is a WXY. Let me quickly do a little pull here from the low to the high to the low, put it on the WXY targets. 0.618 has been hit. We can remove this one. We can remove that one. More locally here, if we zoom in, because while we're live, I do my analysis at the same time. So I actually posted this in Discord as well. If you take a fib from the high to this low to the high, you can see that there's a perfect bounce inside a wave C or wave Y target area. Increasing probabilities, this is a 3-wave structure. It could still be a 1, 2, 1, 2, even though the second wave 1 is longer than the first one. But keeping an eye on bearish divs is important. And something else that's important is you have the highest volume here. And if this move retraces too high, like preferably you then had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we never got a wave 5 down. because wave 4 now compared to this wave 2, wave 4 retraced too high, which increases probabilities of price moving towards the upside eventually to at least take these highs as a bare minimum. Now that could be supported by the local bullish CVD that we now have, going to the right, which we have over here, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD. So yeah, it doesn't really look like yet that price is going to move to the downside, even though what is interesting, of course, is the value area high is being tested. Oh, it actually changed now. It's a little bit lower. So yeah, it looks like we might find some upside where this is then a three-wave structure. What's difficult is to know exactly how this three-wave structure fits in the rest of this range at the moment. 3-3, yeah, ending diagonal. But then it would be an ending expanding diagonal, which of course is very rare. If you take this local low, then the bullish divs are invalidated locally. But yeah, it's just a typical weekend range, no? It's quite difficult to count because a flat, you know, wave B didn't really go high enough. If this is a WXY, you don't want this to label a W, so A, B, C, 1, 2, 1, 2 down. What we did have, which is important, we did have bigger bearish CVD divergences here. And this for me that's like quite important, because those were bearish CVD divergences where if you have absorption of market longs here with limit shorts, you're going to be looking for spots to release your limit short. And that's what happens at certain lows. So of course the bearish CVD here played out. But what I think is interesting is first of all this range, and I quickly want to make, oh, well, there we go. That's nice. So you can see the value area high being tested, potentially moving to the point of control, value area low. If at least locally you can invalidate the 3-minute bullish CVD divergences, that would be nice. And you also have a daily naked point of control here, which is in confluence with this range and take this low. So it's a nice little bit of confluence around 29.2, 29.3. And because we had bearish CVDs here, you can imagine that, you know, they'd be looking for some lows to take to then eventually take their profits and whatnot. So a little bit of a move to the downside after the value area high test would for me be you know, high probability scenario to continue the weekend range, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. But from an Elliott wave perspective, if this is a three-wave, you're going to be looking for a WXY to the downside if you want to reach lower prices. But a WXY doesn't really fit with this structure here on the left. It's really, we're puzzling on stream, eh? We're puzzling on stream while we also have yellow bearish, but that's second CVD, so lower probability of playing out. Let's zoom out. We'll keep an eye on what happens locally. This to me is still something we have to keep an eye on. This of course is the bearish scenario, but you're still inside the most common target for a wave C. And the key level, the triple top, is just above as well. We're not in safety yet. You know, the probabilities of course tend to increase the higher price goes and starts to find support, the higher the probability of continuation. But I don't know, I'm not yet fully comfortable with going all the way to like, you know, 39K, 40, 50K, which we do look for on higher time frames. eventually in time. But on a medium time frame following Elliott waves, is it that easy? That's the question I continuously ask myself. Like, do they want people to miss out buying spot bags? But there wasn't any real fear here in this sideways range. So from an Elliott wave point of view, if we go to the bullish scenario, which I have to quickly, the bullish scenario would be a running flat, which is very rare. Running flat, ABC, wave C not below A. So that is a rare scenario. And then you have the double 1-2 here, which can work. But the second one is longer than the first. Okay, it's literally by a hair, so valid. The second wave 2 is longer and bigger than the first wave 2, which is a little bit odd because the blue count is a lower degree Elliott wave count. So is it nice? No. Is it possible? Yes. Does it lower probabilities? Yes, because it's a lower degree Elliott wave count, so preferably you have shorter structures. This is a zigzag on the lower time frames. This is also either a double zigzag or a zigzag. But it creates a little bit of doubt regarding the probabilities. And something that I keep in my mind, and of course, whenever you trade, you got to trade safe, right? Risk, it's all about risk management. Because this scenario has been on my chart for a long time. Would it be this easy? You know what I mean? You just pull some trend lines, you trade the breakout every time. And you're just absolutely banging. So, okay, let me actually create some structure in the stream. Let's go through Elliott waves from the 12-hour down. Because, of course, people here read Elliott waves. So instead of just talking, let's go through the scenarios and give the probabilities. Running flat, bullish scenario, low is in, new highs to come, right? Running flat, very, very rare. Most commonly, expanding flat. Second most common is a regular flat, where C does take the low of A and B the high of A as well. And then you have the running flat, which is very, very rare, and created a double bottom over here at 24.7K, which Bybit has a big wick here. Wicks tend to get filled, especially on higher time frames after 3-wave move, and then a fill in the wick. And you can go to the Bybit chart, you can go back in time on the 12-hour or the daily, and just have a look at the wicks, and you'll see how often the wicks get filled. And it's all probabilities, but probabilities would suggest you fill the wick. If it doesn't, that's fine, we don't care. And price goes up, and that's nice as well. But it's at least something we got to keep in mind, as well as the double bottom. If this is the low, we got in the bullish scenario, of course, the potential double 1-2. As just explained, wave 1 is a little bit longer. The lower degree wave 1 and 2 are a little bit longer in price for 1 and price and time for 2 compared to the higher degree wave 1 and 2. Which is a little bit weird because it's a lower degree Elliott wave, count. It's a sub-degree of the green wave 3, which would usually mean that the lower degree has shorter price action in time and price. So this is something we do have to keep in mind. The bullish divergences, at least, are good. Bullish CVD divergences between the two wave 2s, that's at least something that is in support of a move to the upside, but they already played out after price took the high here with this, of course, massive wick. So you now definitely be looking for, of course, continuation to the upside, where regarding continuation, we might be soon over with a 3, 4, 5. I will go into more detail here when we jump into more local price action. But then you can have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 soon to end. Still keeping an eye on 30.4K here for potentially the end of your 3. Then you're going to be ranging in a 4 for then a move up in 5. Now, just to give you a little bit of a tip regarding Elliott waves, a higher degree wave 4 tends to retrace to the lower degree wave 4. That's important information, as this is your lower degree wave 4 inside wave 3, this here. Inside your wave 3, so sub-degree wave 4 of the blue 3 is this range. So a higher degree wave 4 tends to retrace to the lower degree wave 4, which means this price action over here, which is between about 29K and 28.1K, right? So if you get the 3, you could get a move to the downside in 4. But no overlap allowed with this high, so that actually only leaves quite a small range or a small area for the low of your potential wave 4 here. Going a little bit more in depth than in videos because we're live. So we have this, and then we take a fib from the low of 2 to a potential high of 3 around 30.5. And then you can, oh, that's very nice. The 382, common target for a wave 4. So this could be an area of your wave 4. This is an invalidation here. You don't want to see this one hit, 28.6. Bit of an like support, 382, common target. You have the inefficiency that you fill as well if price moves to the 382, sitting at 29K basically. So this is definitely a area of interest. Now in the bullish scenario, and this is what's going to be the biggest difference, in the bullish scenario you want to see eventually then a bigger range and continuation. In the bearish scenario you want to see price drop. You don't want to see a range and another, continuation to the upside. Let me actually put this in my folder. That's nice. Micro bull. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay, that's local. So I already explained. Very locally, you'd then be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is your final wave to the upside, right? Your wave 5, basically. Whoop. However, the 30.4K high, the triple top, it's interesting to me. We're so close, so I do still expect that one to be taken at a given moment before anything bigger would happen. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Because of this wick, the news wick, it's quite difficult to really count this in a lot of detail. This could be your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So in your 1, then you have a WXY in a zigzag, and then a flat, which is very nice. Bullish CVD divergences, moving to the upside over here, passing this little order block as explained at the time. Probabilities were higher to take the high, hit the high, took the single prints. Remember, for the people that were here as well, we hit the single prints, bullish CVD divergences, second time entering single prints, high probability you're going to fill the top of the wick, which we did as well. So that all played out very, very nicely indeed. But now we're ranging here, and this looks like a very nice like wave 4 type of structure, but time-wise, if this is all wave 4 throughout the whole weekend, time-wise, it's a bit long for this. So preferably you then have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and then you get a corrective structure or an impulse in the bearish scenario. So let's then zoom out once more and actually talk about the bearish scenario as well. So, oh, by the way, this is also still a scenario for the bulls. At least I want to mention it. We're live on stream, so why not at least go over it? But an expanding diagonal, everyone, is very rare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most common target for your wave 5 is in this box, which we are right now, right? So that is going to be the area where you'd be looking for a high. And interestingly, the triple top is also in this box, right? So that's, again, area of interest. But then you would be looking for a deeper corrective structure in a wave 2. Most commonly a wave 2 is a zigzag, which is a 5-3-5 structure. So if volume picks up and you see impulses, it doesn't mean you go for new lows per se. It can be a zigzag. But your first wave of the zigzag preferably doesn't really go too deep. You don't really like to see the golden pocket hit in your wave A. So preferably your first move down is 382 to 05 level, which is 28.2 to 27.6. Get a bounce here for a B, then a C to the golden pocket, maybe the 786 to take the low here, and then you move up. Right, so yeah, a little bit of info. Most common target for a wave 2, the low of a 2 is the 05 to 786, which is between 27.6 and 26K. Invalidation, of course, is taking the low. The thing is, I would prefer at the moment, based on probabilities, Elliott Wave probabilities, expanding structures are very rare. A double 1, 2 does not look great because of the lower degree 1 and 2. But compared to an expanding diagonal, an expanding structure always has the lowest probabilities. Expanding triangles, expanding diagonals, these are the ones running flat as well. These are structures that are so rare that they will never get the highest probabilities. They always have the lowest probabilities, and only if you can invalidate any other scenario, that is when the expanding structures remain and get the highest probability. But as long as other structures are not invalidated, you cannot give the highest probability to an expanding structure, which is the main reason why I don't really show the expanding diagonal anymore in the shorter videos, just because it's in the back of our minds. But compared to the double 1, 2, it at the moment has a lower probability unless the double 1, 2 becomes invalidated, which it isn't just yet, right? Now, on the medium time frame, in the bearish scenario, we got some double zigzag potential, which means you have a zigzag in W, you get an X, and you're going to be looking for a zigzag in a wave Y over here. Now, for a double zigzag, you want this trend line to be broken. Remember, I spoke about the trend line earlier. I'll do that in a second again, but you want this trend line to be broken from the high to the high of B, move it down. In a double zigzag, you want to see it broken. It broke. Double zigzag wave X target, the 786 is absolutely still a target for a wave X, even the 886 above. Now the 786, as you can see, there we go again, is right on top of that triple top. 34, 35, 36, it's such an important area on the chart at the moment. Now in this scenario, this wave B retraced to the 0.382. That's important because the 382 is more common for a wave B, less common for a wave 2. So the fact that it retraced to the 382 increases probabilities for a B compared to a wave 2. Of course, I got the double bottom on my chart here as well. Current target for wave Y. I actually think I have to move this up by just a few dollars now. Let's just move it up above like 30.6. Fill the wick. Ups. No. C up. And then target B like 24.1 to 22.6k, which is nice because at 22.6 we got some extra support over here as well. My blue support box 21.8, 22.6, very nice. And just above also an area of support. Since price bounced over here on my support box, I didn't really have too many support boxes in the move to the upside. Here's the next one, right? So again it's around the triple top. Well, we have more here. Let's see, golden pocket from the high. Well, actually, that's now... Why did I write golden pocket? That was with a higher low. It's the 786 now. Good morning. Usually, I don't really write fibs in there because the price always moves. Daily naked point of control, range point of control. So it's a volume level. And I believe it's also a... Yeah, we also have the monthly here, which if I remove the scenario, you see we also have a monthly level, which is a close, open close level on the monthly level at 30.4k. So yeah, it's an important area on the chart for Bitcoin. If it moves to the upside, which I think is highly probable, we're still going to see that level being hit probably next week, I can imagine. I wouldn't really like to hit it in the weekend. I would prefer to like hit it during the week next week when the markets are open. So I prefer to continue ranging locally. And then, the bullish divergences just got invalidated, by the way. Yeah. So in this scenario, a WXY. Now, a WXY is a 3-3-3 structure. So 3 waves in X, 3 waves in Y. 3 waves in X. And it's not pretty. It ain't pretty, but it's very, very difficult to get to any other good scenario at the moment. I will show you another bearish scenario in a second. But here we have the 3 wave A, 3 wave B. It's an expanding flat, and then you get a wave C to the upside. Now this wave B retraced to the 105. It actually missed out on the common target, 1.236 to 1.38. And also this wave C is very, very long in time compared to wave A. So is it pretty? As mentioned, it's not pretty. It ain't pretty. But that's why I have at least another scenario still. And it's an expanding structure as well, expanding diagonal. You know, they don't make it easy. The most common target for wave C is the two 1.618s. And that is something that is pretty, because at the moment you can see this area is very nicely respected on the 4-hour time frame. That's what I love the most here. Wick above, close below. Of course, again, that key level, the triple top, is just above the most common target area for C. So we can't yet rule this scenario out. All right. Do I have the other scenario here? Yes. Which is nice. The current, like, I suppose somewhat, I don't know if it's alternative, but it's an ABC zigzag, most common structure in a wave 2. If you zoom out, and this would be a 1-2 up. Most common corrective structure is a zigzag ABC to the downside. Again, C target is going to be the same, so that doesn't really change, around 22.6 to 23k, right? Very interesting. It's just that your wave B is changing compared to X, because in a wave X ends here in an ABC zigzag structure. But in a bigger 535 zigzag, you're going to be ending either here or here, which means this move to the upside will change. It's not an ABC flat anymore, as you saw over here. No, not that one, this one. That's not possible, because the correction starts either there or it starts there. It can't start here anymore. Which then leads us to, did I remove this scenario or not? I got so many folders now, I need to organize my my stuff. Okay, I mean, I know it, I still know it out of my head, so it doesn't matter. Where if this is your low, you're going to be looking for a W, flat, X, and a zigzag in wave Y. So just to put it on the chart for the sake of clarification, this is going to be your scenario here. Fib time from the beginning to the end of W to the end of wave X, and you can see we're still very much in time for a wave Y. Wave Y is not too long in time compared to your wave W at the moment. It's still very, very nice in this range. The 1.618 is usually a bit of like a maximum target for Y, or the 2, it can definitely be longer, but the most common area for a wave Y compared to W is the 1.618 to the 0.618 time-wise. So just something to keep in mind. And the time of this green line is Tuesday, the 24th of October, 2 p.m. So that's interesting. Do we have any news next week? Wait. Next week on... well, we have news on Wednesday. Not on Tuesday, but let's see. If you on Wednesday, if you make a high and you create a little 1-2, then on Wednesday you can create a wave 3 with the news. Who knows? But over here we then have W, X, Y, flat, double zigzag, zigzag in wave Y. Now it is a bit high for wave Y and it's quite steep. So it's also not too great. As you can see, the 1.618 is a less common target for Y, but it's been passed already in this particular scenario, which of course lowers the probabilities a little. This being an ABC is still possible though. We're still around the common target area and below the less common area. And you can see also that it starts to become more and more difficult to come up with very nice bearish structures from the lows here. At least if you think about a zigzag ABC. Double zigzag, W, X, but then you're going to be looking for another 3-wave structure instead of one push, which is at the moment not what we see. And the problem here is that wave Y already hit the common target area for a wave Y, between the 1 and the 1.236. Lowers the probabilities for the bearish scenario again. So what I'm saying here preferably, or I should say this differently, what is important, probably next week, we're gonna get more clarification on if we really go up or down. Because the biggest difference between the bullish and the bearish scenario is if you take 30.4k to 6k with the triple top. In the bullish scenario, you want to see a 4 and a 5. You want to see continuation. Yes, you can get a rejection, but you want to see continuation. In a more bearish scenario, you will not take this high again, and you'll move down into this invalidation, which then is 28.6. So you move down too steep, take the invalidation, and that is when we have to look for lower targets. Now then the alternative scenario becomes the expanding diagonal for the bulls, but because it is so rare, it becomes a alternative where then the preferred scenario becomes further downside. So pay attention to the retracement if you get it, because we don't know. We don't know what price does. It can go up, down, sideways. Sometimes you get it's funny, you get a comment on YouTube which says, so it can go up or down. And I say, don't forget about the sideways. You know, it can also go sideways. Depends on the time frame you're looking at. But the triple top here, definitely at the moment, still expect this triple top to be taken. 30.4 over here, which is very, very close to where price is right now, as you can see, right? So still expecting this. More locally though, as mentioned when price was ranging here, I'm just looking for a weekend range, you know, just it's very, very, trade the range until it breaks. That's no financial advice, by the way, but that's of course a very famous quote in trading in general, where you just trade the range until it breaks. And do I have the volume profile? No. Where you did test the value area high. So price was above the value area, moved down. There were, by the way, bearish CVD divergences here. Bearish CVD, retest value area high at the moment. Point of control is interesting, value area low. But as mentioned at the beginning, this looks like a bit of a three-waver. Let's see if we get some volume. What's happening locally? There's no bullish CVD divergences with this low. One minute stuff. You do have 1 minute bull CVD, but yeah, that's 1 minute stuff. I don't really like to look at the 1 minute. For the bulls, preferably, you create bullish CVD with the low here, which you don't have at the moment. But you did have bigger bearish CVDs over here. You re-entered the value area. So, you know, the point of control at 29.5. So it's just weekend ranging, range, potentially. Just below the point of control, you also have a naked point of control, 29.275, with the range, with a low area of interest. So if price would move down on Sunday, then I'd be looking for some support. But by all means, I'm still looking for this high to be taken. The key level here, 30.4K. So even if price moves down and just continues ranging the rest of the weekend, the 30.4K, that's where the interest is. Because if you take the 30.4K and you reject and then reach the invalidation level of a 112, that is when problems can arise. By the way, I forgot to say this as well, and I just, you know, trading has a lot to do with emotion, and I'm pretty emotionless. I mean, not as a person, but in my trading, I'm quite emotionless. But you can imagine that we're ranging for a long time. We're now at about 30K. People see this move up. They be buying. Oh, I'm missing out, missing the boat, all that stuff, right? Now, can it continue and reach new highs? Absolutely. No one is saying it can't. This can be the low. We can go for new highs. But the thing that I just keep in my mind is, and that's what I wanted to go into earlier, is it that easy? You just... And, you know, trend lines work, right? They work, but you need a bit of a strategy around it because you have many fake outs as well. You don't need a difficult strategy to trade. It's just that, is it going to be this easy, right? You just break the trend line. This is what I put on the chart already a while back. When you were ranging over here, I was like, what if you break the trend line, move up, but then you move down? So you're baiting the buyers over here. that are looking for new highs. Instead, you bait them, you stop them out, you move to the downside here, and then if you move to the downside, you get YouTube and left, right, center. You're going to see this, the head and shoulders. You can see, I put it on the chart when price was over here. So then you get the head and shoulders, price moving down, 22K, 20K, whatever. Target is 17. But then instead of reaching target, you turn around. So first, you bait the longs, stop them out, bait the shorts, create fear, and then you stop them out. So then you have losers on both sides, and then you get the move. Because I don't know. Can it be this easy? Yeah, I mean, it can always be that easy, I suppose. But it's just something that I play with in my mind, that we got to remain neutral, right? And just trade price action. I already explained what I'm looking for locally anyway. But when you zoom out, this is still something that I do keep in mind. Baiting or stopping out the trend line longs where you are not going to grab the high, the fact that you got so close, you know, I was emotional in the past, and I guess many people were in the beginning of their trading career, where you're so close now to your take profit, or you're going to be thinking, yay, we go to 50K. You're so close. Maybe you're going to leverage some more in, buy some more spot, or you're like, you know, you stop to think neutral. You stop, there's the bias. And I just keep in mind that it's not over yet. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not a bear. I'm also definitely not a bull, because I don't care if price goes to 100K or 10K. You know, by the way, that's not the expectation. If we go down, the highest probability is we go up again, by the way, just to make sure that people don't think 10K is a thing at the moment. From an Elliott Wave point of view, which you'll see tonight is the macro and high time frame update, and the cycle. I'll include the cycle as well. But probabilities are then higher if you go down to move back up and reach the high. You know, the highest probability is to take this high before anything else. But my main interest is going to be, do we take the low first? Because we have a double bottom, we have a buy big wick, which is not filled. You can bait so many longs here. Oh my God, the carnage if price moves to the downside. That would be beautiful. But yeah, it definitely depends on what's happening here at the moment. Do I have any other interesting things here? Yes, I do. We actually reached my white box. Well, not kinda, time-wise, maybe not really, but speed fan from the high to the low, golden pocket, resistance, we passed it, 786, resistance, we passed it, next level of interest, 886. If you can clear the 886, yes, then I'll be thinking about, okay, you know, we might actually go up. But you have the 786 here, you have the triple top, bit of a gap, as you can see as well. Besides, of course, my target box with the monthly, daily naked point of control, potentially the end of your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure here. For then a correction, and then the question is, will you go too deep or not? Very interesting. Will it just continue? If it just continues, we're done with the whole discussion. But if it rejects here, then the question is, how deep does it go? That's the biggest difference between the bullish scenario, double 1, 2. You don't want to see price tagging this high. 28.6, clear invalidation. You first want to see a 3, 4, 5, and then, yeah, okay, you could maybe go down again. But yeah, you don't want to see this if you're bullish. And in the bearish scenario, you do want to see that, right? You want to take the high and continue down. CVD divergences are going to be important. If you take the high over here and price moves to the downside, moves up, and you get bearish, strong bearish CVD divergences, I'd pay attention to that, because then there's absorption of market longs, and especially if that happens during the week, and you get a higher time frame, like proper move down, move up. Bearish CVD, no. Because if this is the beginning of, oh, this was another thing. If this is the beginning of your wave 3, yes, you have bullish divergences here, but you want to keep them. You want to keep bullish CVDs building. Every little retracement, you want bullish CVDs, right? That's what you're going to be looking for. And from a volume perspective, we actually did this on the stream recently, which is quite interesting. Where's the volume? In your very big wave 3, this is your 1, if it's already in, right? 1, 2, this is the beginning of your 3. This is your 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Which means if this is your 3 after a double 1, 2, this has to be your push, right? This has to be the kick, the bang, the biggest high volume. Yes, you have a bit of a spike, but look how insignificant the average volume is that we have here compared to, well, everything. Look at the volume here. Now that is a proper wave 3, right? So you want to see price continue and volume increasing. At the moment, volume, where's the volume? You know, there's no volume, which is quite interesting. So even the volume here at the lows was also higher, with this being a wave 1, 2, and then the 3 came in high volume as well. So, and then you can see volume slowly is moving down throughout the range, which is exactly what you want to see and also what you expect in a corrective structure. So that's absolutely normal. But if this is the beginning of 3, you want to see volume come in. I think that if price continues up, the volume will come in after breaking this high, because people FOMO. And then they'll be like, oh shit, I'm missing out, I better buy. And that's when you get the volume. The whole market has no volume, yeah. Okay, so locally, it starts to look more and more like an ABC now. This range 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there's overlap. So then you got to think diagonal, which is still an option. But how does a diagonal fit in the bigger structure here? This range is actually quite difficult to properly count. This has to be a 3-wave structure. This can be a WXY, but a WXY is not allowed in a W. So this whole range can't be a WXY because of this, which means this then has to be a wave A. This is your B, this is your C. And if you're looking for a C, you're looking for a 5-wave structure, which can be a diagonal or an impulse. But for an impulse, because of the overlap that you have now, you have to think 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then you get a bigger 3 to the downside. And then you get a 4, 5, 4, 5 ending of C. And then you move back up. And if this is a second wave 2, most common target between the 05 and the 786, which is between 29,973 on my chart here and 30.1. And preferably in a double 1, 2, bearish CVDs here. Maybe you even get them here, but you did have them here at least. But yeah, it doesn't look too pushy to the downside. One thing that is important, I actually said this to silver, you have the highest volume in the low, which is very wave C behavior. 1, 2, 3, but you never got a 4 and a 5. And this increases probabilities of price moving up now, by the way. Because if you're going to be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then wave 4 is not allowed to go to the golden pocket, which it did. So, yeah, highest volume, very wave 3 behavior, of course, highest volume in the low. But then you're looking for a 4 and a 5 on lower volume, wave 5, which we never got because wave 3 retraced too high to the golden pocket, which would invalidate a wave 4. Now you do see this little one insignificant candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 question mark. Well, that is the low time frame counting that I'm not a fan of, because if this is an extended 5th wave, then yes, you can have the highest volume there, but this is usually very wave C-ish behavior or corrective behavior. And of course, if that is corrective behavior, you're going to be looking for the highs to be taken, which is something I'm going to be looking for anyway. So currently it's just highest probability to eventually take those highs. So yeah, let's see what you guys are up to, and we just keep price on the chart. Yo, no one gets excited about that pump. You mean which one? You mean the one here, or the one with the big wick, or maybe this one? You know, probabilities just increase that price moves up because it's very wave C-ish behavior here, instead of moving down, which would mean this is then a three-wave structure. Not to forget, you still can get a WXY, but it's difficult to see a WXY in the bigger context of this range, because a WXY is not allowed in a wave W or a wave Y. So, very interesting indeed. Been scalping Bitcoin like a boss. Good job, Mike. Rocking the charts. Is this a triple 1-2 in the bearish scenario? This would be a double 1-2. So then you're still working on wave 2. And of course, a wave 2 can go a bit higher, right? So you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a move down. Preferably, I like to see some bearish CVD divergences locally as well. On the preferably the 15, which is what I like to see. You're still in the range, volume area. It's difficult really to know the probabilities locally. Like if you zoom out, things become clearer. But if you zoom into this range, it's a bit of a pain in the ass at the moment. This has to be a three-wave structure. But in an ABC, you're now looking for a wave C, which now means a double 1-2 because or a diagonal. But a diagonal means you're going to get a running flat, because you're not going to take this low. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, like you're never going to reach this low as a diagonal. So then you're going to be looking for a double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, in this being an ABC. Can this be a WXY? Then you have a WXY. But this wave W, I'm not really looking at this as a zigzag, because a WXY inside W is not allowed. So you then have over here an ABC, W, X, and then another three-wave in Y. Preferably, you're either going to have an ABC structure, which means 5, 3, 5. Very 5-3-min counting. Sometimes we gotta be patient, but if this is a WXY, what you prefer to see is price pushing, new impulse. But now that price took this high, it touched this high. A WXY can't be part of a bigger W. So preferably, if this is a WXY, you're going to be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish an impulse. But we never really got, this is your 3, then you have 4, 4 overlap with 1, invalidates an impulse unless it's again an expanding diagonal, which is very rare. So now what? Then you have A, B, C as corrective structure, but then yes, you expect downside. The value area high of this range has been tested. We had bearish CVDs at the high, so there's definitely a proper scenario in mind to first look for downside. And I actually like, just from a psychology standpoint, I would like it as well. Just move down in the range. You know, move to the downside, maybe take the low over here at 29.3, hit this range again for the second time, all the way down to 29.1. Where you also have the naked point of control, 29.275. So there's definitely a case to make, to move to the downside, which, yeah. WXY, even for a wave Y, it's quite shallow. So yeah, weekend range. But yeah, expanding flat wave B hit a 105, not a common target. 105 is a less common target. It can still be a regular flat, but then you expect the low to be taken anyway. But you can't have a diagonal. It has to be a double 1-2. So the moment you retrace too high, it completely invalidates a double 1-2. And the fact that the volume is in the low, unless it's an extended fifth, but that is 3-minute counting, which, you know, I don't really do. $4.5K subs, yes, correct. Yeah, I actually don't really know. I don't look at the numbers too often. Because I prefer to focus on providing value and content. And then if people find it interesting, they'll click the sub or the like or the comment, or they just enjoy watching without any of that, which is fine as well. But we are now at, let's see, 4549, so 4,549. Yeah. Yo, Mike, you've been here long as well, and many actually. Like we started in the 20th of February this year. So things took quite a turn. Went quick. But it's, for me, it's all about providing as much value as I can. So of course, the shorter videos, the condensed videos, right? It's about around 10 minutes every video, where I go through one bullish, one bearish scenario per time frame, and then I end with the probabilities. Like which scenario has the highest probabilities of playing out based on the scenarios in the video. And I hope it helps people to first learn in the first couple of minutes of a video where I go through the scenarios to understand why is this scenario valid, what makes this scenario a higher probability or a lower probability based on what I'm explaining, and I mention it as well. At the same time, I also try to put in some education. So if there's a double 1-2, then what do you have to look for? Volume, pools, that sort of stuff. And then at the end, I give probabilities, which, you know, are based on the explanation I've done earlier in the video. So I hope it helps people to develop their Elliott Wave knowledge as well, so that they can eventually, maybe one day, count themselves. Music composition for piano, there he is again. Trying to make sense of the local price action. Would appreciate your input. Didn't take the triple top yet. No, correct. Still looking for it. But yeah, as mentioned, ABC still a possibility, but then this needs to be a 1-2 for downside. WXY, well, W and wave Y can't both be a zigzag in a sideways double combo, by the way. So if you think about WXY, but this is then a zigzag versus this being a zigzag, yeah, you can't, it's not allowed in a double combo. So a WXY for me doesn't look probable here, which means your bearish scenario is either going to be an ABC, so you're going to be looking for more downside first before potentially then reaching the high, which is still something I keep my eye on. WXY, ABC, or this is the low, and then you're moving to the upside, but this cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anymore, so then you have to think differently. 1, 2, there's so much overlap as well, like 1, 2, this is a very weird 2, it's like A, B, C, but then you didn't take the low, so it's a running flat, and it's just a mess. That's not, so counting this as an impulse is very difficult. This looks much better as a corrective structure, but then you're going to be going for that ABC, which means downside has the highest probability in the range. because a WXY, then you have a double zigzag ending over here. W and Y are zigzags, not allowed. Leaves you with an ABC, 3, 3, 5, but that means you're going to be looking for a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a 3 down, but it's weekend, you know, at the same time. But yeah, you're going to be looking for a move down. If the low here is in and you look for a move up, then you're going to be looking for an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, overlap between 4 and 1 invalidates a regular impulsive structure. Needs to think about diagonals. Contracting diagonal is invalidated. So we have an expanding diagonal that is left. Expanding diagonals are more rare as well. So that's also not really preferred. Counting this in a different impulsive way, where this is the high of an impulse, then you have to go 1, 2, and then, you know, whatever, 3, 4, 5. But your wave 2 looks absolutely cracked, because this is an ABC running flat, didn't take the low. It's not nice. More locally, we can keep things more simple. So instead of looking at the range as a whole, sometimes, and this, you see me do this actually quite a few times as well in videos, where we don't really necessarily have to know what is going on here to know what the invalidations are on the right side of the high, right? So if I pull from the high to this low to the high, and I toggle on the most common target area for both a C and a wave Y, we currently have a bounce here, right? For a potential 3-waver, which is a zigzag. Now, of course, as just explained, when you talk about it, if this is a zigzag and this in a WXY, that's not allowed. Low probabilities. But anyway, without the context without the context here, right? This could then be a 3-wave structure. Now, if you're going to be looking for an ABC, you either want to see continuation in an impulse, or you're going to be thinking about a more local WXY. If you then zoom in, then you can see 1, 2, 3. Is this a 4? That's a question mark. Very, very short. Shorter than wave 2. So this looks, I think, better than a 3-wave structure, also with the highest volume in the low. But if this is a 1, 2, 3, and then you wanted to see a 4 and a 5, your wave 4 retraced too high. It now retraced to the golden pocket, which is not allowed for a wave 4. Lowers the probabilities that this is a 1, 2, 3, well, a finished impulse, unless this little one candle is your wave 4. But this is like such low time frames, right? It's, yeah, what do you do? So yeah, and now, yeah, this move up looks very 3-wavy as well, of course, and the fact that this looks like a 3-wave structure now increases probabilities. You're gonna take the low, from the low to, wait, 1. Also here we move down, or yeah, looks very 3-wavy. Yeah, so you could get a WXY locally. The reason I'm, you know, in an impulse, you want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the same here. We never got the 4 and the 5, and now price retraced too deep before taking this high. It retraced all the way here, back to your high of a potential 1 over here, and overlap. It's not allowed in a regular impulse, which increases probabilities here. Even if you would move up a bit, it increases probabilities to take this low. So this could be a 3-wave structure, WXY, ABC, doesn't matter. It's a 3-minute counting, right? But it's just about the probabilities locally. And then you can create the context with the information and the knowledge you have of the more local range, and other tools that you like to use. So, you know, I'm a big fan of volume. We retested the value area high over here. Point of control is interesting. Value area low. We got the naked point of control, 29,272 as well. Taking the low, we got a range. So if price moves to the downside, I'm going to be looking for support here. And I want to see proof of support. I don't YOLO, catch knives, you know, no FOMO. I want to see how price reacts. And based on the reaction, I might make a choice. But maybe for you, a reaction means market structure change, bullish CVD, RSI, stochastic, trend lines, whatever your tool of preference is. Maybe you want price to go back into the value area, retest, market structure change, take the high, and then you're going to be looking up. That's fine as well. Whatever your strategy is, of course. But because of this structure to the upside here and the retracement down, probabilities are higher to take this low. Because it's not an impulsive structure by the looks of it locally. What's CVD doing? I think most importantly is like for everyone that wants to get into Elliott waves, if you learn all the rules of a impulse first, I think you can get pretty far. And an impulse can mean regular impulse, diagonals, and double 1-2s. Those are the three that you wanna study. Even if it goes up, this structure here, it's very three wavy. Oh, makes me think. Three wavy up. Do not leave out a potential diagonal, because diagonals do start with three waves. And then you get 3, 3, 3, 3. Then you get a bit of a move down, preferably bullish CVD divergences here. And then you're going to return to the upside. Because, as mentioned, the probabilities are also higher to take this high. But that's again when you zoom out a little bit. So very, very locally, you're building three-wave structures. But this also looks quite three-wavy. So, yeah. Masha Knights, hey, what's up? Been a while. Good to see you around. Christian 30, yeah. I replied to that. I really like listening to you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Dorinel Tukanu. It's not ASMR, but he has a good voice, right? I don't know. You tell me. I can talk very, I don't know. I can talk very high, very low. I guess there's also a part that, because I've been a host on television in the Netherlands on ESPN for 4 years, you kind of learn how to talk, I suppose. It sounds really stupid, but of course, if you're a host on television, there's different ways like of talking. Anyway, yeah. 333 entering, that would then be a expanding diagonal. Andreas Zahn, and there he is. Welcome, good to see you. Jabunga, what's up? CVD, order flow, unreliable with low liquidity. 2021-22 was much better. I'm still trading, of course, CVD is one of the things I like to look at, but it works very well. It looks very well. Of course, volume is not too high in general in the market, but I have no problems at the moment. Depends on your whole strategy in a whole, like all the different rules that you, of course, have. Hasta la vista, Barbie. What's up? Sophos. It's like that for the whole year. Yeah. Exactly, Sophos. Is it that easy, right? That's what the comment is about. Is it just about you trend line breaks, you buy, you look for new highs, ta-da, Ah, man. I think it would be absolute carnage if you move to the downside once more to the lower 20K, 22 area where people get very scared. And if you do, make it quick, fast, high volume, make people scared, some sort of a wave C of an impulse, for example, where you want the highest volume in the low, people getting scared, that would be great. But at the moment, we're ranging at 30K. And of course, as mentioned, the probabilities are higher to still take this low. Probably, I'd be looking at next week, I suppose. And then the reaction here is what matters, as explained in the analysis earlier in the video. Do you get maybe a bigger range down in a 4 and then a 5 up? Then you can higher probability to the bullish scenario. But if you would drop to 28.6, probabilities increase for the bearish scenario. Q's at World, I'm doing very good, thank you. Is it forming a head and shoulders? I actually spoke about it. I mean, the form is a head and shoulders, but I don't trade patterns. The only reason I put patterns on my chart is because I like to trade fake outs. Because patterns is one of the first things you learn, as well as trend lines, and you can trade them effectively as long as you have a strategy around the pattern itself. So you want more than just the pattern, because a pattern has so many fake outs. Which is why I like to keep an eye on patterns not playing out. So the only reason I put a head and shoulders and the trend line on my chart is to think against what people are. I'm trying to look for things that goes against the herd, if you know what I mean. Please explain basic Elliott waves. 5 waves up, 3 waves down, or 5 waves down and 3 waves up. Yeah. Impulses and corrective structures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, and 5 are impulses by themselves, which means 5 waves. 2 and 4 are corrective structures, which can be an ABC, WXY, triangle, WXY, XZ, or flats. In wave 2, you can't have a triangle. In wave 4, you can everything. Wave 2 can usually retrace to the 0.5 to the 786, wave 4 to the 0.236 to the 0.5. Invalidation for 4 is the 0.618. Really, invalidation for 2 is the low of 1. You know, most common target for wave 3 minimum is the 1.618 trend-based fib extension. For wave 5, it's the fib taken from the high of 3 to the low of 4, toggle on the 1.236 to the 1.618. But there's 4 ways to calculate a wave 5 target. You know, you can use a channel, you can use the 1-to-1 trend-based fib extension, the 0.618, and the fib I just explained. Volume is highest usually, most commonly in a wave 3. Wave 1 tends to be low. Wave 3 is the highest. Wave 5 tends to be lower than wave 3. 2 and 4 corrective, volume slowly going down. You know, what do you want to know? Wave 3 can extend to like 3.618, 4.618, you know, if it's a very, very big push. Yeah, and then you have all the little things that I can say about triangles, ABCs, WXYs. But I guess that's the basics. But if you want to learn Elliott waves, I recommend to first check the links in the description, because those, and that's not affiliate guys, right? It's public websites. You can just go to the websites. This is the second link, for example, over here. This one is amazing. I recommend this. I actually maybe just removed the simple one, because really this is a really, really good website. It's the second link. It's called bit.ly and then detailed Elliott Wave, or Elliott Wave detailed. Really good website. And then the Elliott Wave more info link is this one, EW Tough, with a bit more info and also time and sort of stuff. But personally, the one that I showed just now, this one, start with this, the second link. Study like you're at school. Get your notes out, get the pen out. That's what I did. And then try to implement on empty charts. Or when you look at videos, like for example, you look at my videos, try to put on the chart what I have and then think, why did he do that, right? Why does he say this? Why did he pull like that? And then that's also a way to learn. And if you look at videos, you'll also know which Elliott Wave counters on YouTube know the rules and which one don't, because you're going to be checking their analysis, which is very good. You're basically reviewing what they're doing with the rules next to you as well. Because of course there's channels that, you know, they count, but they don't follow the rules, funny enough. So yeah, that's an answer. I think on local 3, blue is complete and running on making. Yeah, the thing with the blue 4 now, if the local 3 is in, then preferably this is your 3 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or here. But then you're going to be looking for a flat. Yo, you just got me on an idea. Would that be... It's a bit long for a flat, but a flat is not yet invalidated. 1 second here. Very interesting. So this is of course your most common target. Make it longer. One second. La di la di la. From the low to the high. $786. What do we have at the 786? Very interesting. Yeah. Expanding flat A, B, C. Your wave B is then a double zigzag. 1 second. Can this still be a flat? You hit the rare target for a wave C, so this can definitely be an ABC structure for a zigzag, followed by a WXY corrective structure, zigzag, X, Y, which then likely is a flat or a triangle. Reach that 786 because we already mentioned locally this looks like a 3-waver, increasing probabilities to take the high or the low as well. So then you could get a 3-wave structure. Reach the 786. Move up, take the high, hit the 1-to-1, which is put on the 786 here, which is a common target then for WXY inside wave B, double zigzag, and then you move down. That's very interesting. I'm actually gonna, yeah. And then you have an A, you have a big B, and then you get the C, and the C is going to be an impulse, which then leads us to prices of. Of course, in a flat, you would expect after the flat the high to be taken again, right? And then from the low to the expected high. Most common target 29.1 to 28.5 for wave C. When an idea hits you by... I love chat. You know, I love it when people write in chat and come up with, what did you say again? Like, what was the reason I thought about it? Running on making 4 in blue. And then I start thinking, and you get to certain ideas, and you're like, wait a minute. I love chat. So this would then be a... Wait, do I have that scenario? Yes. Because I don't like the impulsive scenario anymore because of the overlap. Make it nice, make it look nice. This is not WXY. So then we have A, B, C, minuscule, ABC, where we have wave C zigzag, ta ta ta. Point of control. And then if we would get a move up still for B, $786. So the high can be around 138, which means 30.6. This area here, which is fine. Fill the buy bid wick as well. Wick the buy bid wick. And then move down. Where you have, let's see, to like, let's say a little bit here. Drag it to the right. Wave C. Tuck. Oh wait, this is still a target, of course. And then take, this is Elliott Waves. This is usually what I do, of course, behind the scenes, preparing scenarios, putting it on the chart, thinking of stuff. But hey, gotta love chat. And then this is your wave C, most common target area. Make it look nice. Coordinates. Oop. No. A bit orange. Hop, hop, hop. Very interesting. Let me put the golden pocket on for now, though. Ta-da! Okay. Yeah, that's right. Very nice. Makes sense. There you go. Some like I immediately QZ World, you make me work. Eh? Like I immediately thought of, wait a minute, but yeah, it can be interesting. Calling for a big dump to 23k. Happy Sunday, everyone. What's up, MT? Good to see you around. Still on the cards. We're not out of the danger zone. Bruna, how are you doing? Good morning. Thanks for your live at this Sunday. Always a pleasure. I love being live. Probably like the videos are nice. The videos are easy for people to watch. 10 minutes. I love making the videos. You know, it's nice and condensed. It's concise, educational with an update, probabilities. And in the weekends, we have a bit more time, flexibility, and sometimes throughout the week. But of course, sometimes I'll do a live stream, and I really enjoy lives. I think we'll see higher levels or a fake out of the head and shoulders. That's what I would really dig as well. You break the neckline, but then you break the neckline and then you move up instead of moving down to the target. 4-hour time frame, can you call the 3-wave move from September 18 to October 12 a running WXY or ABC flat? September 18 on the 4-hour. So you mean from here to here. I like your way of thinking. The problem here is that in a running flat ABC, this has to be a 5-wave structure. Looks much better as an ABC 3-wave structure. And a WXY in a zigzag X zigzag is not allowed in a sideways double combo, which lowers the probabilities that this is the end, or sorry, that this is the beginning of a 3-wave structure and this is your end. So probabilities are much higher for this to be a separate like structure, right? Either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But having a 1, potential 2, and then up in 3, for example, has lower probabilities because you don't have a 5-wave structure here, very much a 3-wave ABC. But an like over here, zigzag, X, zigzag in a WXY is not allowed in a sideways double combo. Good question, Kathmandu. Double zigzag pattern, head and shoulders pattern, ABC zigzag, most pattern probability. Show it goes first, little cool down, and then more bullish before making a new high, or go more down in bearish. Yeah, first a little cool down, then act more bullish, meaning you're gonna take the high, bait people, and then move down. That's basically in the zigzag, double zigzag, and the head and shoulders. That's kind of what you're thinking. Bait people into longing, grab the liquidity, drag it back down, stop everyone out, make people scared, people go short, break the neckline of the head and shoulders, fake everyone into prices going further down, then turn it around, fake out the shorts, and use that liquidity for the push up to 40 or higher. It's a good way of thinking. But yeah, it's still on the cards. As well as, of course, the bullish scenario where you just continue. But as mentioned in the analysis earlier, it very much depends on the reaction at 34 here. 30.4, 36. Will you please indicate the level to watch, which makes difference in bull and bear? 28.6 at the moment. Yep. So also for this, like, if you're looking for, if this is your blue, so in the double 1, 2, right? If this is already now your blue wave 4, you're not allowed to have overlap with 1. So that's your invalidation. If you already have your 3 in and you're looking for 4, not allowed to take 28.6. That would invalidate a double 1, 2 scenario. So on the higher time frame, basically what you want to see for the bulls is even if you take 30.4, then a move down and continuation up. For the bears, you want to invalidate the double 1, 2, which then really gives probabilities to the bears as well. Whoa. Oh man, one more hit the high for an ending diagonal. Yeah, that would be then a expanding diagonal. Of course, that's less common. Also with the ABC, the flat on the medium time frame, having an expanding diagonal is not great, but almost 150 watching. Oh wow, this is the first live stream where we actually crossed 1,000 views in total. Like let me show you here what my screen looks like here. Holy moly, it's the first time. Welcome everyone. By the way, for the people that joined in, of course, more of the analysis is at the beginning. But look, that's the first time I see 1,000 during live. That's cool. Welcome everyone, how you doing? Hope you guys have a nice, enjoyable Sunday. Remember to click the thumbs up. Thanks, Randel. No volume in the weekend, that's correct. Usually volume tends to go down, but also usually volume in weekends tends to be related to the structure, which usually is a wave 2 or a wave 4. Corrective structures in general have lower volume, of course, than the impulsive structures. Yeah. The market, exactly. Where's the volume? Good live stream. Thanks for your thoughts. Pleasure, Joe Luis. Dasa Gaming, he back. He back. Truncated fifth, truncated wave 5s, or truncated wave C's in a running flat and stuff. That's very rare. Very, very rare. So truncated, expanding structures, running flat, W, X, Y, X, Z. These are things that are very rare and therefore never have high probability unless everything else fails. What do you think about the CVD for spot? Oh, I actually don't look at CVD for spot. It's falling a lot more than perpetual on AGGR. I don't know, because I actually never really look at spot CVD, only futures. So I did hear, like in the group, so in Discord, many people are always chatting in Discord, which is great to see. And I love keeping an eye on what's happening in Discord. And people do say that spot buying is not really there yet. People still waiting. Dorinel, by the way, if you're live here. Oh, it's actually nice. Gotta see how this works in the context of things, but I just see this one coming. Dorinel, sharing this in Discord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an ending contracting diagonal. That would be the bearish scenario, no? Because then you have a finished 5 wave. So if you take the high in a B, C, you expect continuation. If you take the high in a 5, you expect potentially new lows to be made. So you're then looking for... Wait, this is the 15. Oh, you're looking here in an ending diagonal. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zigzag, 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 down. Then you don't want to see 4. Well, wave 4 can be a double zigzag. You don't want to see 2 taken. We're not yet sure of 4, but you don't want to see the low of 2 being taken, where wave 4 can still be a potential double zigzag to the downside. But all the waves have to be zigzag family patterns. Nice scenario, by the way. Very nice way of thinking. Wave 1 has to be a zigzag as well, because then 3 is a zigzag, which means this push up here, this has to be a zigzag as well. There is possibility that this is then an A, B, especially if this is a triangle on the lower time frames. A triangle is not allowed in wave 2. So then you go to A, B, and then you have a wave C. So 3 wave, 3 wave, 3, 3, 3. That would be the bearish, potentially that would be the bearish scenario. I'm going to keep this open in my tab. Very nice. I like your thinking there. I just happened to see it. But yeah, let me check what's up with chat. You're one of the hardest working personalities in space. I appreciate your workaholism. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it, man. Mike, of course, being part of the channel already for a very long time. Mike even visited the Netherlands. Yo, we didn't meet up or have the chance to, but he visited the Netherlands as well earlier this year when the sun was still shining. I mean, it's not too bad of a day. It's getting fresh though. But thank you. Yeah, if you love what you're doing, your hobby is your work. Also so I also have a business in gaming and esports, but it's, you know, I love that. It's like hobbying. Do you come across truncated fifth? I just answered that one. Daniel, the daily RSI is bullish, no bearish divergence. It's overbought, but that indicates strong bullish momentum. Yes, I mean, overbought, of course, has two. You can interpret it in 2 ways. Overbought and too many people buying, so you want to get it down again to the out of overbought. Wait, overbought, and then Randlewa says daily RSI is oversold. The thing with RSI is, and that's why I prefer CVD, which I think is the best indicator anyone can use, is the problem with RSI is it it's a momentum indicator, but it can show you divergences, but still continue pushing and pushing and pushing. So it can be overbought or oversold, but it still continues going up, 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 or down, 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 or you see an RSI divergence. But because the momentum, like I think RSI probably works better in a ranging structure and stochastic, compared to impulsive structures, I suppose. But I don't use RSI anymore. I stopped using it a long time ago. So I never check it. I only use CVD. If we think about indicators, at least. Down today, triple top tomorrow, followed by the real move down. 1 a.m. music, that's definitely a possibility. Absolutely. Avin Mouville, how you doing? Good to see you again. 786 hit taken from top to bottom. Yes. Yeah. It's all around the key level here, 34 as well. 0.5 from ATH to November. Correct as well, Vasil. Wait. Wait. Maybe on the linear, but is that the same on log? Because once you go to the weekly, it's recommended to use log, which means your fibs have to be on log, which means the 05 is not yet hit. Now, if you go to... No, and also if you go to linear, the 05 is also not hit. So I'm not really sure what your pull is. But the 05, like on such a high time frame, I would prefer looking more locally what's happening here. To go to like estimate probabilities for up or eventually down. Probabilities are, if you zoom out this high, probabilities are still higher to take 32k eventually. And move up to like 39 to 50. Very important resistance there. Yeah, combination waves, the WXYs. It's what many people have problems with, including myself in the past. It's a difficult one, fridge thrower. Wyckoff. Next Bitcoin target. I mean, we don't know where Bitcoin goes, right? I do have support and resistance areas, which means your closest support is the point of control at 29.5. Your closest resistance is 34 to 36. Take it level by level. Greetings from Toronto. Love your content. Always clear and understandable. Thank you. My pleasure, man. Toronto, how's the weather? Phil Daz, how you doing? Toronto. I always love American like countries and regions because it sounds like it's so Hollywood. You know what I mean? When you hear someone's from like an American, like Texas, and it sounds so big. It has a name because of the movies. Sometimes you remind me of my first bull run. Always thinking price will go down. TA says price will go down, but price keeps going up. Yeah. And I have no problem with price going up, you know. I'm prepared. So, but I also don't say price will continue down. It's all probabilities. So unless bullish or bearish scenarios are not confirmed or invalidated, we have to always, besides that, we always have to keep both in mind. It's just that at the moment, the 112 is the most attractive Elliott Wave bullish scenario. And bearish scenarios start to become more difficult. But that's where this key level is very important. If you push through here, you know, like, yeah, okay. But this area is very important for price now. So, because this is not my potentially first bull run. And if we go to the cycle count, then the probabilities are highest that the low is in as long as 15.4k isn't taken. And for price to move up. So for the very long time frame investor, it doesn't really matter. But I'm a day trader, so I don't care if we are at 50k or 20k, because I trade this 15-minute. That's my time frame. So I don't care if we go up or down. What I care is I trade local action. I'm not a long-term investor or long-term, swing trader. So yeah, I have no problem with price continuing to the upside at all. The contrary, I think it would be fun seeing price move to the upside. But don't you think that might be too easy? And that's my thinking. I'm wondering, like, is it really that easy? Everyone has been buying. We got to keep, and that's important as well as a content creator. We got to remain neutral. Bullish scenarios have good probabilities, but as explained, it's about the reaction we get here. 30.4, this area is what will decide more. And we have to wait for the reaction. So, and then based on that, we can get probabilities for actually up or down. So, because the 112 is the best bullish scenario, and the best bearish scenario, is just simply taking 24/7 lows and take the wick, double bottom, make people scared, and move back up. Because in the end, probabilities are higher to move to take 32K. The range pocket is different on different exchanges. Potentially. Of course, if you take a range point of control of the whole range, it might be higher. But if you then take it only of this smaller range or this area, you'll probably have the same one, which then is a high value node on another chart, which is still some nice support. Lucas Otter, he is walking once again. 6.5Ks. Look at him go. Yesterday he walked 11. We know you're sitting on a chair. I'll show you. Usually when I'm live, I'm standing. Healthy. Let's actually move it up a little. Pleasure, QZ. Masha Knights, what's up? Muharram Imam Chaudhuri, is there any history that a diagonal create a bull run? Oof, I wouldn't know. You got to go back in time. The bull run that started in like just before the COVID dump, of course, that was a clear impulsive structure. Very clear impulse. And the bull run before that, which is of course many years ago, also it didn't start as a diagonal as well. But yeah, that's so far in time. I don't really tend to go that far. But a diagonal creating a bull run, it depends, because if you're looking for a big wave 3, then usually you get like a double or triple 1-2, which means you get a diagonal to kick off a bigger 3, which is possible. But a high time frame, daily time frame diagonal is extremely rare. But on the lower time frames, they can appear more often, 15, 30. Melissa, my pleasure. Hasta la vista, ending diagonal triangle. Yeah, I never like to call them triangles. For me, a triangle is a triangle, I always just call them diagonals. Wyckoff distribution is loading. Potentially, yeah, where you can have the UDAT above, no? Dorinal Tukanu, overbought. After this 5 up, retrace until 26.5, bitstamp chart, potentially. Dankjewel, Daniel. Geniet van je zondag, man. Thanks. Leuk dat je hier was. Vasil, monthly at 34, correct? Hi, you opening long or short now? Yeah, I always love these questions. My friend, that depends on your plan and what you want to do. And I, of course, have my plan and my strategy that I trade. And because I was napping in the morning because it was so late last night, I actually did not take a short, else I would have been in a short. But yeah, I'm having very strict rules, very strict strategy. But in Diamond, people did take the short. And they already have their stop losses break even. So yeah. But I missed out because I was still in bed at like 8 a.m. because it was so late last night. as expected, and that's the reason why I didn't provide a morning update. But regarding longs and shorts, mate, move already like to the downside already happened. You know, you're now bouncing at support, golden pocket. You need a plan, my friend. You need a plan. Instead of going into YouTube chats asking for longs or short, of course, the best thing is develop a plan. Use your favorite tools, build statistics, combine them, build more statistics, then write down entry requirements and rules for your strategy, and then trade it. And it will take you many months to develop a strategy, but it will avoid confusion, and you also stop caring about what others do because you have your own strategy, which really helps. So the strategy that I have developed over the years is a strategy that so I don't trade Elliott Waves. I use it as directional bias, but I need more structure in trading, like more clear rules and lower time frame entries. Instead of very big stop losses for invalidations, better risk to reward. So I love using Elliott Waves, and I can probably trade it. Would be fun to do a challenge actually. But I have a separate developed trading strategy where I have, let me have a look. So I have a B plus, A minus, A and A plus setup. And my B plus setup has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, has 7 rules that need to be ticked. The A minus has 1 more, the A has 1 more, and A plus has 3 more. That is when I would then enter a position. And if I miss a position because I was sleeping or whatever, then I just wait for the next one. It's basically trading the same shit, different day, really. Good evening from Kerala, India. Manoy Kumar, what's up? How you doing? What is it like? I'm doing good. Isn't technology amazing? We can watch this live on our phones. What's up, Jay? How you doing, man? What would be a good indicator to say we're in a bull run? For me, that would be just Elliott Waves. I don't use indicators except CVD. But no indicator can give confirmation of a bull run. What I do like is indicators like that say, like, what's the golden cross? I think is some with moving averages, and you have some other one with a like a dot that comes each 5 years. But what I like about that is that, so I do like contrary thinking. I don't care if price goes up or down, but I do like to also think against people that just start, or people that look at all those indicators that everyone is using. So if there is a golden cross or whatever, or some certain dot, I'm always like, how nice would it be to stop everyone out first? So you get the golden cross or whatnot, you move down, bam, because so many, oh, if this week closes, we got the golden cross or whatever not, and then people buy. And then what I would love to see is first go down, stop everyone out, make them fearful, sell, and then the push up. And then the people miss, so then they FOMO in. But that's not an indicator. So I don't think there's any indicator that can give you probabilities for, hey, the bull run has started. But I use Elliott Waves, and on the higher time frame, probabilities are higher to take 32K. So yes, the probabilities are high to move to 39 to 50K. And then more locally, the question is, will you first go down back into like the low 20s, or do you now continue up? And that's then the medium time frame probabilities. But in general, probabilities are higher to still move up. And then we take it from there, because we, even though I use Elliott Waves, we take it level to level. It looks easy and unbelievable. And this is what the market does. No one believes this move from 25 to will be creeping up higher. Bears will go long on ETF news at 50K. Luckily, I'm not a bear. But also, I'm not an investor in Bitcoin. So I don't care where it is. I just trade this, And I can trade this stuff anywhere. So I'm not a bear, I'm not a bull. And I also think that's important. You know, I'm very neutral. I have no emotions with Bitcoin. I don't care about Bitcoin, you know. What I care about is the volatility on the chart. I don't care about fundamentals. I only care about technicals. I'm not a fundamental trader. I'm a technical trader. Yeah, I like to trade the 15-minute. So I definitely believe that price can continue to the upside as, you know, bearish scenarios become more difficult to count. So the probabilities increase for the double 1-2 to play out. And from an Elliott Wave perspective, you want to see 34 taken and then observe the reaction here, and that will tell us more. Smilal, I am long. Good luck, man. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Samith, high alpha, concise. Thanks, man. 28.3. Quite a drop. Is my target and then further upside. There is potential there. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. What's up, Honor of Kings and Chill? How are you doing? Gonna rewatch later. Yeah, it's been a long stream. I actually gotta quit. Got some other work to do still. You mean you trade against popular indicators? No. I don't trade against indicators. It's just it's interesting to think about these type of things. My strategy is not involved around any indicators. I do use CVD myself, but I have many other rules. And but it's just interesting to think about it. So I don't trade using indicators or all, you know, popular indicators. I don't trade against them, but it is just interesting to think about it sometimes. I am long, Koenz. Mate, I don't know what you mean. Like you're watching the video, you're watching the stream. Let's have a look here. And did we take that low or did we not take that low? We didn't. Oh, barely. So we do have some bullish CVD. Yeah, remains the level of interest, 34 to 36. So this is your more bearish scenario, I suppose. But you would still move up and then a bigger C down, and or this is the bullish scenario. You move up, down, and then you want to see continuation after C. A bearish scenario would put a high here and then you continue down. So the most important level is 28.6 at the moment. That's important. In a double 1-2, you don't want to see this hit. Not yet, at least. You don't want to see this level hit, because then probabilities increase to just move down. So you first want to have more moves to the upside before you would come back, basically. Oh, you're bullish my channel. I see what you did there. I get it. Well, thanks for being bullish on the channel, mate. I love what I hear. Bullish on the channel. I mean, things have gone pretty quick. So every December, I kind of reflect on the year and I make some goals for next year. And funny enough, in the goals that I had for this year, so I have a 1 year, this is important. I have a 1 year, 5 year, and a 10 year like goals, or I should actually say 10, 5, and 1 year. And in Discord and then other content, I did a short little stream yesterday because I got a question about discipline and consistency, which then has to do with also plans and setting goals and stuff. So you can find this in Discord in the other content channel. a video here. I put the timestamps in. And you can also download the planner that I use on a daily basis, and also go to this link where you learn more about making a 10, 5, and 1 year plan to live like very structured with my, I have like, this is my weekly planner. So I have my stuff to do there, and then I got a 10, 5, and 1 year goals. And then the 1 year goals are in blue here. And then I have divided again in monthly and then in weekly. And then these are my days. So, every day your work. So with the plan, I actually had no idea. I didn't have any YouTube channel in my 1 year goal. I didn't even know this was going to happen. The thing is that I wanted to change a few habits, and I was like, I was usually waking up around 7:30, and I was like, man, it's so late, but it's not easy, especially in winter, to get up very early if you have your own business. So I was like, you know what? I know in some Discord groups, I know people enjoyed seeing my Elliott Wave analysis. So I was like, I'll just make some videos. So I'll just put them on the channel. I thought about the channel, of course, in advance, like, what content am I going to make? How long will be the videos? How do I want to make it like a lean channel? Like with the thumbnails and not too much editing and stuff. And then it was just content. And then I was like 7 a.m., 1 p.m., 7 p.m. Ta-da! So 7 a.m. video online means I got to get up at 6:15 behind the PC, do my analysis in the morning, start recording between 6:30 and 7, and then upload it between 7 and 8, and there's the 7 a.m. video. Yeah. So I had no idea this is how it usually goes, right? Like, you just start something, you make videos, you hope it provides value to people and that they enjoy it, and then we are, it's the 22nd of October, so we are literally 8 months alive with the channel, 8 months and 1.5 days. And we went now from the beginnings to 4.5K. By the way, thanks for everyone subbing. Holy moly, we now are at 4563. That's 14 more than just earlier. So, things can go. Yeah, it's pretty insane how this actually changed quite a bit. The fact that and I love doing it. Discord, chatting with the community, with the members, doing private streams, Discord streams. Yesterday was a Discord only stream. Over here, this was a Discord only stream that I did for everyone in Discord if they wanted to hang out. It's very nice. Thanks for the explanation. We're learning a lot. The local down to the POC, then down to C makes sense. Yeah, this is the more bullish scenario. So then you want to see wave C down and continuation up for new highs. The bearish scenario would be what Dorinel showed actually here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this potential 5 can be the end of like a bigger wave C, and then you want to, but then you expect 28.6K to be broken. So we have to wait. We are patiently waiting. Price, we are at 30K. The bullish scenarios are very interesting, but we got to keep an eye on the bearish scenarios locally and see what's up. Yeah, organized. I guess very structured. I'm a very structured person in general. But I need it as well, because else I start randomly doing stuff, but it's not really towards a dedicated thing. So you will have over 200K before the end of the year. I don't think so. But I like your support. 200K. We only have 195.5K to go. Yeah. I agree. It's most important to be clear on your goal rather than planning every route and step in detail. Yes, agreed. The thing is, sometimes you get opportunities, right, in life, and it might sound like a great opportunity because if you have a job, then you get more salary there and whatnot. But then 5 years down the line, you look back and you're like, damn, actually I shouldn't have made that decision, or I'm not feeling too great, or and you're going to look back and be like, maybe shouldn't have done that, even though the golden pot, the higher salary, was interesting. But if you have clear goals and like a direction you want to go, it helps you with decisions, and it's easier to say no. So I had the opportunity earlier this year to become the president of a Dutch organization for the gaming and esports industry in the Netherlands. I was asked to take that position, and I said no, because it doesn't fit with where I wanted to go to. It didn't fit my future plan. So it also keeps you more focused, and you will start to make decisions that will lead to you reaching your goals, because you have a much clearer vision of where you want to go. So I guess you're a fan of the Pomodoro. I know the technique, but I never used it. I mean, we're already live for 2 hours and 10 minutes, so I'm not really following the Pomodoro technique, but I do know about it. But in general, I just work, straight, chill with my fiance in between or after. Honor of Kings and Jill, we not only learn trading, but personal goals, life goals as well. More power to you. More power to you, right? Hey, everyone. Jeez. It is that time of the day where I got to do still some other work for my other business as well. Got to read through the script, edit the script if necessary. We got to do we also have to, with the other business, do a financial application. Is that how you say it? Like, we need money, basically, right? So we need like an investment. So we got to go and have a look at that as well. So still stuff to do. Tonight at 7 p.m., macro and high time frame, as well as the cycle. I'll include the cycle scenarios as well for you in a video coming. So cycle, macro, and high time frame, meaning the monthly, weekly, and the daily chart will be on the menu tonight. And don't forget to watch Formula 1 if you're a fan, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central European time. But hey, I will see you guys and girls next time. Next video is tonight, 7 p.m. The next live, I have no idea. But of course, if you are in Discord, you can check the Koenz content channel where I always provide the updates. Or if you're subbed, you'll get a notification unless they're off, and you'll probably see it somewhere else anyway. So by the way, quick reminder, I do want to say this for people that haven't seen, but today is the last day for the Bing X campaign that we have. There's only a few spots left. So, I mean, if you want to check it out, then you do. If you don't, then you don't. But just know that the $100 bonus thing is only for today, and then it closes. So, FYI. That being said, have a great weekend. Have a great Sunday. See you next time. And tonight, 7 p.m., cycle, macro, high time frame video. Bye-bye.